Hello everybody and welcome on my channel. I realized recently that I never properly introduced myself here on this channel. So my name is Victoria and I'm living in Korea for 3 years now. And I'm making videos about Korea, especially Korean food, and some occasional travel vlogs. This week we celebrated Seollal, the Korean New Year, and while in Western culture we celebrate the start of the New Year with friends, drinks, watching dinner for one, and a countdown before midnight. In Korea it's a family holiday. And it's not on December 31st because the date is set according to the lunar calendar, so it's usually in January or February, and maybe the term Chinese New Year is more popular, but here this is not China, we're in Korea, so we just call it Seollal or even just Seoll. You can compare it to Christmas in Western culture in a sense that it's the most important of the traditional Korean holidays and it's very family oriented. You spend it with your family, you eat lots of delicious food, and you also perform a saebe. That's a traditional deep bow. So you do that in front of your parents and your grandparents, basically the elders in your family. And then while doing that you say 새해 복 많이 받으세요, sorry for butchering, which literally means receive a lot of good fortune, luck in the new year. And as a reward you get some money. This here is, for example, the envelope that I got from my Korean grandma. Isn't it cute? I would like to show you how to do the vow correctly, but I guess I'm not qualified to do that, and I totally messed it up because I was just copying what Singun was doing and there is another way to do it as a woman, so so embarrassing, but yeah, it's too late now. I'm sure there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube how to do that. I should have watched that, but I thought it doesn't really concern me, and I didn't even know that we will do that next year. The holiday lasts for 3 days, the day before, the day itself, and the day after, and during that time most of the Koreans travel to visit their family because it's considered very important and respectful to be there. Since most of the people travel south from Seoul, there are a lot of traffic jams on the highway and it gets really quiet and empty in Seoul. Except Myeongdong, there shopping never stops. During the New Year festivities it's very common to wear a hanbok, that's the traditional Korean gown, or just new clothes. And popular activities for kids are playing food games or flying a kite. If you're visiting Seoul during that time of the year, make sure to stay warm. I made a video about that recently, so check that out if you're interested. And I recommend visiting Namsangol. It's a small Korean traditional village and they hold a little festival every year. You can write down your wishes for the next year there and try some street food. They have a lot of stalls around there. And you can also watch some performances, which is pretty nice. Okay, let's talk about my favorite topic, Korean food. Many preparations go into celebrating the Korean New Year, and a very typical dish that Koreans eat during this holiday is called dokguk. It's a soup with sliced rice cakes, beef, eggs and seaweed, and since the broth and the rice cakes are white, it symbolizes a fresh start. And there is this traditional Korean belief that you turn 1 year older after you finished your dokguk. And Korean age is a whole different topic, but long story short, you have your dokguk on the first morning of the new year, and once you finished it, you're 1 year older. Fun fact, the oldest reference to the Korean New Year is from the 3rd century. Another fun fact, or actually it's not so funny, but maybe still interesting, during the month of Seollal the fruits get really expensive because there is a higher demand, and these gift boxes are very popular. So last week I saw this apple gift box, it was like that big, and it was 170,000 won. I thought that, I mean, what? That's insane. And what was even crazier was this meat gift box for 500,000. I thought they messed up the zeros. Okay, let's end this video with a look at my horoscope. Okay, so in 2019, my horoscope, according to Karma Weather, I know my sources are not super reliable, but this is not a master's thesis, so it's okay. Earth snake, I'm a snake by the way, must stay calmly at home to the extent possible if he wants to prevent problems from accumulating. Okay, great, I'm a basement child anyway, it's a lifestyle. Otherwise, it is a stable period embellished with some pleasant little surprises. Okay. Are you also celebrating the Lunar New Year, or what kind of customs do you have in your country? Maybe you can let me know in the comments, I would really like to know. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Bye!